Well, guys, how's it going today? Good afternoon, everyone. Been screwing around with this thing. So managed to get all of my end caps on it. These guys on the nozzle bodies. Got all the nozzles or the sprayer tips in throughout this thing. Takes longer than a guy thinks, just because when I took them all off, we disassembled everything and washed them all down. So had to assemble everything and reinstall. Got roughly 200 gallons of water in there. So outside of needing it's Sunday, Mother's Day, so outside of needing our O-ring kit, needing the O-ring kit and the rubber kit, whatever you want to call it, for the electronic control valves, it's ready to rock and roll. So that's a good feeling. Slowly but surely everything's coming together. Now I should check my gas. Oh, we got lots. Just shy of the full mark. This little sucker is actually pretty good on fuel. So now I'm going to go for a quick run down the back road. CP's not home. She's gone to Weyburn to a small animal bird sale and meet up with our daughter, so she's not home. But I'm gonna do a quick run down to the back road and find out how wet or how muddy it is. It's surprisingly dry. We could actually use a good rain to really kickstart everything growing. The rain that we got the other day was nothing more than a good dust dampener. So I'm gonna let you guys go and we'll bring you back a little bit later when we get out to the back road. Well, there ain't no snow down here at least. Four by four. Whether we'll need it or not, I don't know, but I'm not gonna take the chance. Probably did not need it. See a little bit of a green hue in spots or out in that field. That's not my field though, that's the neighbor's. I think he was down here because the road's got a little bit of rut in it and somebody pulled into his field and turned around out there. So I'm guessing he came down and checked it out to see if it was able to get down and to see how wet the fields were. Now, my field, this field. I'm gonna open up this fence and get in here and take a quick peekaboo out here a little closer. We'll bring it back in a bit. Oh, there is a little bit of green shit coming through over there, but I'm still uncertain if I should bother spraying it, because if it ain't on green on top, you're not killing what's underneath, right? From what I know, and that's not a hell of a lot when it comes to chemical, I'll be the first to admit. But the chemical, you need the leaf on top to draw the chemical in to the root down below. So, yeah, there's a good chance we're not going to be spraying that, what used to be clover last year. We probably won't be spraying it. Now we're gonna continue north and see how green our summer fallow field is on the organic land. and find out how green the alfalfa field is. See if the alfalfa's coming through or not. And yeah, there's muddy spots, but I guess we're not going to be able to get away from that. And I did take it out of 4x, so should be interesting. We'll catch you later. Woo! Olé! This organic land is really green. This is summer fallow. Well, it was summer fallow last year. The twitch grass is coming in hardcore. It's gonna need a work down. Plan is to put oats and alfalfa out here. There's some stones. So we'll be doing some picking, and we'll be doing some friggin' land rolling out here probably. But she's pretty god darn green. She's pretty green. Now, the stubble field is the alfalfa that we seeded last year. And yeah. It's all here. It's there. A good rain will really take this stuff off in a hurry. I'm not asking for much, only a ½ inch. Little light here, but it's still there. Look at the skeeters. Because of the slough right there, the skeeters are friggin' horrendous. In spots it's light, but in other spots it's heavy. And it looks good, so. But we're definitely gonna have to get out here and work some ground in the summer fallow. This is the field that our yellow barley came from. We'll check over here on the hilltops kind of and see how it looks, but I think we got her. I think we got a fairly half decent catch. I think. Here I'm not seeing it for whatever reason. The odd plant, twitch grass. It's coming though. It's a little lighter in spots, but it's coming. Holy! The skeeters are horrendous out here. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna let you go. We'll bring you back later. Alrighty guys, well, I got this thing going for the last 10 minutes or so. However long it took me to grease the knuckle joint right here and there. And then this, we had some issues getting grease in there and on the other side. I haven't checked the other tires yet for air pressure, but this is our Blanchard 60-foot medium duty Harrow. And I came out here with the tractor and I was gonna hook up and just go and work some of the rust out of it. But then we had a flat tire, so. And we're up to just about 30 pounds. Not quite where I want to be, but real close. But my plan is to harrow that oat field right over here, and then a little bit of manure around in this pasture field. But can't do much harrowing when you got a flat tire, right? I'll probably end up having to grab the big air compressor or the big air tank and just bring it out here and fill these tires up with air that way. Because if they're that low, this one will probably get me through for today, because we've got company coming in a couple hours. So, and of course, shut off, you bastard. And I don't have valve stems, and that valve stem looks like he's going to be an issue. God dang it. That's second one this year now. We'll put the cap on and maybe that'll help hold the air in her. It'll still leak a little bit, but not as fast. Ugh. So, if I go quick, get the tractor, get hooked up, I might just be able to get a little bit of stuff friggin' harrowed down. See how that straw is going to break up in that oat field at least. Or see how this manure will break up in the pasture field. One or the other. Whoa, that's not nice. There we go. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Alrighty guys, well, I have a question for y'all. Does this mean we're farming now? Hooked up to a Harrow, working on sprayers, working on friggin' hoe drill seeding equipment and discs. Does that mean we're farmers? I thought we were cattle ranchers. Are we cattle ranchers or are we farmers? What the hell is it? I don't know. It's called biodiversity. How's that sound? We're multi-farming. We're doing every little of everything. Some guys do a lot of everything. Some guys not as much. I'm more of the not as much. I guess we've got a few cows. We're average on the cow side, but we're not big on the grain side by any means. I never intended to be a grain farmer, but we're trying. Just running this Harrow over some of this feeding areas from last fall. Not going overly fast because she's bouncy out here with all the gopher hills and gopher holes. But once we get rocking and rolling into the oat field, the stubble field, that'll change things up quite a bit, because then we'll be able to go a little quicker. And it would be good to get out there and get a bunch of that done, simply because the manure that we spread out there last fall too, try and move it up, get around and break it down a little more. utilize as much of that as we possibly can as our fertilizer, because this farmer, so-called farmer, is going to try something different this year. And some guys might say, you're friggin' crazy, BP. What the hell are you trying to do? You're never going to be able to grow anything that way. Well, as you guys very well know, and some of you may not, but clover is considered a nitrogen builder. So let me start from the beginning. All of our land is relatively new. Like, in the past 4 years, it's all new land. In the past 4 years, we've gone from everything was pasture to having some farmland. Anyway, so keeping that in mind, guys, I gotta watch I don't take out Mocha Dog. Look out, Mocha Dogs. Keeping that in mind, so we've gone from everything being in pasture to now having some farmland. We are fairly new land, so it shouldn't require a heck of a lot of stuff as far as fertilizing goes. So last year we had that clover in there on the one field, and clover is a nitrogen fixer, so I'm thinking we should have lots of phos. I have not done soil samples, guys. Probably should have, but did not do it. Anyways, we with the clover out there, I'm going to use the nitrogen fixing in the soil out there, and I'm putting barley on it. The other thing we're doing, so on our south field where we had the heavy oats last year, like that 130 bushel an acre plus, so on that we are we dumped manure. Well, we grew that that Covers and Co crop. I called it the gamble crop. We had that seeded out there, and the whole idea of that was for cutting and baling, and it did not do that well for us, but maybe it did some soil building, I don't know. But that was brand new land. It really didn't need any soil building. So, and it had lots of nitrogen fixer products in the crop that we grew. So anyway, we had that out there, and then we put manure out there on the south half of the field, and then we put 150 pounds of fertilizer down, a 60-10-10, so 60 nitro, 10 phos, and 10 sulfur. And then we grew our oat crop. And then last fall, I put down a bunch more manure on the north half of the field. So using the manure as our fertilizer, and I don't believe the oats used up all of the granular fertilizer. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to try kind of organic, not buying any fertilizer, just putting the seed in the ground, but we are going to be spraying. So we're not totally organic, okay? There you can see right here, it doesn't look that great, and see how it spreads it out more. Utilizing all of that manure type stuff as our fertilizer in the pastures too, by spreading it around, right? So yeah, that's kind of what we're going for. I'm not looking to get rich off of our grain crops. You know, if we get, I got the 2 bins, and I really don't want to be dumping grain on the ground, guys. I know I had lots of guys saying, BP, you got all the area in the world to put your grain. You got the bales, you can make a bin and surround it with, cover it with a tarp, and there you go. Good to go, done deal. Well, I really don't want to put grain on the ground, and I don't want to have to rig up bins in a circle or a square and be covering grain with a tarp. So in my estimation, the way I'm looking at it, I've got 2 bins, guys. And careful I don't take out the fence. Anyway, I got 2 bins. So if I get basically 50 bushel an acre oats and 50 bushel an acre barley, we're golden. That'll fill both my bins, more or less. That's 2,000 bushels, right? And if we do a little better than 50, so be it. Then we have to dump it on the ground a little bit. Or maybe I'll have somebody that wants to park their truck in the field, and I could just fill their truck and they can buy it right off the field, right off the combine, basically, right? So that's kind of where that's all at. Right here is a bed down area from a couple years ago. So it's heavy manure. Should probably scrape some of that heavy manure up and move it around with a shit spreader. But anyways, so yeah, that's what we're looking at doing. So we're gonna give her a try. It's an experiment. I've been caught with my pants down doing other experiments that did not necessarily work out that great for us, so why not experiment with this? I know even if I did not get 50 bushel an acre, if I do not fill my bins, that's fine. I'll have grain for myself, so it's not a total loss, right? And I will definitely replace my seeds, that I'm sure of. So yeah. And by spraying, I'll control the weeds, so there's less competition from weeds on the grain seeds, so which would add to bushels back in our bins, back in our pockets. So anywho, just my own 2 cents on farming for me. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. We're gonna keep at this, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Alrighty guys, well, we're in the oat field, and you can see where we spread manure. You can see that black lines. So being in here with the harrows, hitting it diagonal or full 90 degrees opposite to the way I spread will help move that manure around a little bit more yet, to give us more fertilizer option on more ground. It's a little heavy in the middle when we're spreading. It comes out heavier in the middle than it does out the sides, so we can hit that little ridge and make this work better for us. Not really working it in the ground, but moving it around. And it'll get worked in the ground when we seed this with the hoe drills. That'll stir it up even more yet. But we got to keep our eyes peeled for a disc that's out here. I found the spacer, it's right there. So the disc is out here somewhere. Anywho, I'm gonna continue on. We'll catch y'all later. Have a good one, guys.